Just enough time for one final play in this half. Back to throw, time running short in the half. Rolling, throwing, looking right. It's incomplete, and they tried to get one on the board before the break and couldn't quite make the connection. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. The Bears will try to kick this one deep to get things underway in the second half. Looks like he's going to bring it out. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Huge deficit to start this third quarter. They just need to find something to build a little confidence.
Yeah, it hasn't gone well. When you're trailing by this much, this first drive, man, does everything matter and hinge on this? Because every possession in the second half is going to be critical.
Yeah, and I think if you're on offense, why hold back? What are you worried about? Nothing went well in the first half for you, and at this point, trailing by as much as you are, throw caution to the wind, be aggressive, and let's just see what happens.
Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wondered maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy from the base.
Well, he was licking his chops. As soon as he saw blitz, he knew some guy was trying to cover him man-to-man. Ain't going to happen. With his skill set, he's one of the best in the country, and that is just way too easy.
The Irish trying to keep this drive moving on third and short. They'll try to get it through the air. Just a short pass to the tight end. He'll have enough for the first down, and they stop him at the 45.
Well, in that down and distance, the quarterback's got to get rid of it so quickly, right? He knows the defense is going to be bearing down on him, so a nice job catching the gun snap and then turning and pivoting, getting it out of his hands quickly and accurately to pick up the first.
Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
The Irish will need to move the sticks on third and long to keep this drive going. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. Trailing by multiple possessions in the third and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. We thought we'd see a little wildcat formation in this spot, and here it is. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. So they come to the line, and the Wildcat going to give them a different look. Direct snap. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Wildcat. Let's see what they've got. On the ride. Powers through the defender. Wildcat look didn't get much. Picked up a few on that one.
It's a veteran defense. They've seen option before. They were prepared to see it in this game, and you're seeing it on that play right there. Everybody doing a great job with assignment football. Their gaps, accounting for anyone who can have the football. They were ready for the pitch guy that time, and they're able to make a quick stop.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Making side adjustments here. Bringing the heat. Complete to the right. Slips one guy, and now he's loose. Boy, are they loving that huge play. He's got it down to the 9.
Man, we knew coming into this game just how explosive this offense could be. A big part of that is their ability to throw the football. They've scored a ton of points, and it's because they can generate plays like that. When this quarterback sees the one-on-one matchup he wants, he is not afraid to pull the trigger, and he hits a big throw there.
And that big gainer on the last one has them threatening from inside the 10. They'll run it on 1st and goal. He's brought down at the 6, with the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. They keep pushing forward, now back to work on 2nd and goal from the 6. The run up the middle, looking for the score. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Baylor!
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back. Knowing if they get down in this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Let's see if he can make a play on the return. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. They'll start this drive going to the air. The quick entry brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
He's going to take off, and it'll be a short game, but no need to take a big hit there on the scramble.
Nice job by the defense. You got to dial into your keys. You got to make sure you're reading those guys up front. They did a good job. They saw it. They pulled it through. They knew the quarterback had it. They weren't fooled. Strung it out. Did a nice job of limiting the damage with that QB run. The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
At the 41-yard line, brings up 4th down.
That's the end of the period. Baylor is on top. And it hasn't been much of a contest as we take a look at the overwhelming game stats through 3. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. They'll leave the offense out there to try to get it past the marker and pick up the 1st. On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. Finds the tight end. And he's down after the short completion. He did not make it to the 1st down marker.
Great coverage on that 4th down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
Scanning the field, it's Griffin. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now has taken out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
And when you're down later in the football game, you got to start taking some chances. And that was a beautiful run blitz. Great job playing the probability, understanding it might be a run to run some clock, and they guess right, and they make a big play for this defense.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Trying play action. Throws to the wideout. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Taking it the other way. Inside the 30. The 10. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. What a play. Not only the interception, but the great return for the score.
Love to see the defense still fighting hard this late in the game. Great job jumping the route, catching it, takes it back for a touchdown. Not too much time to celebrate, though. You're still trailing in this game. Still got some work to do, but no doubt that play is going to give this defense a little bit more confidence.
And the extra point cuts into the lead just a touch, 35-10. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Hey, fellas, here's a quick update on a top 15 clash today. LSU is currently up big right now in a game they'll be talking about in Death Valley for some time. They're up by 31 over Florida State. We'll keep an eye on things until the final horn in a game that could shake things up a bit in the SEC.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick 6, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick 6 and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out and not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
Flushed out of the pocket. He's turning it loose into the middle. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
And that's why a lot of kids want to play for this coach, because they know that when they get into games, even if it's late, coach is going to let them go play ball, go have fun, take shots and try to come up with big plays. This offense right now, man, they're just having fun.
The offense changing the play. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Shoved out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line, and this offense is doing work.
Well, I love play callers that want to stay aggressive, regardless of what the score is, regardless of how much time is left on the clock. And I promise you this, there are a lot of fans, there are a lot of teams all across college football that are paying attention to what is happening right now.
Motion from the wide receiver. Maybe some confusion on the snap count there. That's maybe what caused the false start. Either way, offense is penalized. Here comes the offense on 1st down.
Let's go! Terrier, gotcha!
Back to throw, it's Griffin. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28. And the Bears moving quickly to the line. On 3rd and long, you need to loosen up that arm. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver, he's going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Here comes the field goal unit as they'll try to take the 3. No good. Because no game is perfect, something has to go wrong, so the coach will have something to gripe about in film.
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man. Just go for it every time. Like, the field goal miss-make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
Here come the Irish back on offense. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
It's pretty obvious. This defense came into this one knowing they were going to have to play a complete game until there were zeros on the clock, especially against this quarterback. You cannot take your foot off.
He lets one fly deep. And that makes 5 interceptions in this one. The nightmare is alive.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's passed, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Add them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this defense.
Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Now trying to keep this drive alive on 3rd and long from the 45. Might be calling a hot route. To the air, it's Griffin. Got his man downfield. Now with a great opportunity as they pick up the 1st down. They've got it at the 40.
Slants are very tough to play, but they become way tougher when you got a big body wide receiver like that. It's almost like basketball where he's boxing you out. He gets inside real quick, uses that big body to shield you off. And even if you're playing man-to-man, you just got to get him on the ground and try to disrupt him some way.
I love the coverage in the back end by the secondary. That DB was glued to the wide receiver, just staying right behind him. He was able to locate the ball and get his paw out there to knock it down.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Now on the option. Now the toss. And that one will go in reverse. The defense all over that pitch on the option. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. It'll be 3rd and long. They'll run play action. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. And as he throws, and the ball goes right to the ground, incomplete.
It is what it is. There's no pressure. This game's over. You're up by a ton of points. They're not going to come back here in the 4th quarter. So you're just trying to put up more stats. And listen, stats count. Like, we all count our stats. At the end of the season, we look up, you got 1,000 yards receiving. Like, all these plays still matter.
They'll start this drive going to the air. And that one's incomplete.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard to see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and go into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that today.
After the incompletion, back to the passing game. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he's had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back in college, he would have pulled me about 2 interceptions ago.
Fires to the wideout. Complete to the left. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34. Notre Dame ready to go with another first down. The corners are walked up tight. To the air on first down. And he fires a dirt ball. Man, oh man, would he like to have that pass back.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Snap's going to come from the 23 on 1st and 10. They just keep firing. Got the quick pass. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. If this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
At this point, a comeback would take one of the biggest miracles in the history of the sport, but they'll line up for the onside kick. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. At this point, a comeback would take one of the biggest miracles in the history of the sport, but they'll line up for the onside kick. He's able to grab the football, and the hands team gets the job done. Great place to start for this offense.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly. Flip it.
They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And you can feel the momentum a little bit, right? I mean, the fourth quarter has kind of changed, and this defense is settled in. Their offense has scored as well. So this is a big tipping point in this football game. This is a big possession because Uncle Mo is all on the side of the defense.
And you're seeing on both sides really hard to run the football in this one. You've got to give both of these defenses tons of credit. They are so physical up front. These defensive lines can take the game over, and right now,
Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Trying to take it back. Past the 20. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Irish.
And this defense has had a rough day, but how about this play? Breaking on the football, making the pick, taking it to the house, maybe build some momentum for some future games.
And they'll try to tack on 2.
22 water. 22 water. Ready.
Sends it back in motion. Looking to throw. Working that left side now. He's not going to make it in, and the decision to go for 2 does not work out.
The score, Baylor, 35. Notre Dame, 23.
Time is against them, still down by 2 scores, but they'll line up for the onside kick. And in that scramble, they're going to come out of there with the football, and they get the onside kick and take possession right back. They're going to open this drive with a pass. And he throws yet another interception. Does he know which colored jerseys they're wearing? Going the other way, and he's got room. Attack. And with the interception, he'll take it all the way back. Touchdown, Bears! They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3.
How about a game-changing play for this defense? Stepping in front of the football and knowing what to do with it, taking it all the way to the end zone.
Well, look what we have here, guys. After all the early season doubts, these guys have put together a winning streak.
They sure have. Man, they're just believing in themselves right now. This is a completely different-looking team than what we saw early in the year. Playing with so much more confidence. And, David, when you start making plays, you start stringing W's together, that's obviously what happens.
Everybody gets energized. Everybody starts to contribute. Young guys start to grow up. Coaches start to believe in them. Everything starts to turn around and swing the other way. They got it all going in the right direction.